Never know who you might run into on the streets of New Orleans, where Jones and I frequently are down here at the Final Four.
Just got back in from last night, actually, and we saw this guy.
Found him coming back in as we were going out. The mayor of Chapel Hill, essentially, but also a Tar Heel national champion, Marcus Ginyard. Marcus, thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
When you think of the Final Four and your experience as a player, what do you think of?
Man, I think I'm cutting down the nets. We actually just talked about San Antonio a little while ago, and that was a difficult time for us. But really, when I think about the Final Four, I just think about the most exciting time for college basketball. I mean, this is a time where these kids play on a stage that's like none other, and it's just a great time for basketball fans. It's a great time for us at Carolina, obviously right now. Just super excited for these kids and the experience that they're going to have, because these are moments that I remember very, very fondly from my time at Carolina.
What are these couple of days like the lead up to the game as a player when you're sitting around, you got to go do all the media stuff? Like, is it nervous? Is it fun? What's the energy that you remember?
Yeah, it's interesting, Jones, because it feels like a week, right? Like
Right.
you're so early, you got so many media engagements, you're doing and now things are probably even more escalated, right? Doing videos and interviews, and there's a ton of people everywhere. Everybody knows you're in town. There's only 4 teams playing, right? And so everybody's kind of got their eyes on you. So it's draining. It's draining mentally, but at the same time, you're just getting so juiced up. You're so amped up for this, and you got all your friends and family pumping you up, and obviously they understand the magnitude of this stage and the opportunity that they have in front of them. And so I just remember getting super excited, because at the end of the day, this is what these kids want to do. This is what we love to do. We love to play on the big stage. We love to play in the big moments. And so, I just remember getting super excited about Saturday night.
What do you like about the way this team is playing right now?
I love that, that they have fought through a lot of ups and downs. For everybody as a Carolina fan, we've had our frustrations, let's say, but at the end of the day, this team stuck together. They found a way to continue to find success and get through those tough times. And so I just think that we're getting that cohesion. We're coming together, and we're fighting together in a way that that makes me super excited about this weekend.
All the fans, all the media want to talk about who the opponent is and what the matchup is, and the fact that it's that rivalry. Coach Davis and the players have been very much, hey, this is the national semifinals, that's what's important. As a former player, what's that balance of, you're playing to go to the national title, but it's also, of course, a very familiar opponent.
Yeah, well, it's definitely difficult to separate those right now, right? And, I'm excited to be on the fan side of this right now, and I'm going to play up the Duke-Carolina matchup, and I think that obviously in the Final Four, this is a huge game, but to have that matchup and that rivalry and all the other stuff that goes around it, to add that to the fire for me, I think is super, super exciting, because that just gives us even more fuel to get out there and compete, and for this to be a heavyweight title game that we all expect. And so I'm just hoping that gives them even extra motivation to go out there and perform on Saturday.
Sounds like there's going to be an incredible turnout of former players Saturday night at the Superdome. What does it mean to Marcus Ginyard to sit there amongst all those folks, many of whom you didn't play with, some of whom you did, but you've all got this thing that you share?
Adam, it's impossible to put into words what this means. Carolina family obviously is what we kind of put a name to, right? We say Carolina family, but it means the world to me. It really does. It means the world to me to be around guys that, like you said, I didn't play with, but they still are my brothers, and it's going to take a long time for me to be able to articulate that. It really means the world to me, and that's why, I made such a crazy effort to get down here, and, I had to put my girlfriend's life on hold a little bit with her job to get her down here too. Honestly, it's super, super important, and it really means the world to me.
Yeah, Marcus's flight went Raleigh, Chicago, Greensboro, then here to New Orleans. That's for another day. 2 times in the Final Four, a national champion in 2009 as well. Marcus Ginyard, nice enough to come hang out with us. Marcus, great to see you, man, and look forward to cheering on the Tar Heels tomorrow night.
Absolutely. Let's get it. Go Heels.